So I'm using the Mevo Plus, and so obviously kind of like the Garmin was like just coming out, and I've never been, just looking at it, I always thought that was not, I feel like there's SkyTrack and Mevo, and then everything below it, and then there's all the big ones that are a jump up. And so I didn't have the money for a more expensive one, and then the SkyTrack was kind of out of the question because I'm a lefty. And so unless I wanted to be moving that, every single time people come over, it was like, well, the Mevo's the choice. And the more I looked into the Mevo Plus, the more I liked it. And so I've been really, really happy with it. I would say after a year of using it, it is, like I've said, irons, I think it's a 10 out of 10 for distance and shot shape. Chipping's a 10 out of 10. I don't really do any putting. We kind of find it just takes up more time, and we'd rather play more holes. And then driver, I would say for like 90% of people, it's great. But I've kind of found that if you have a really hard pull, which is what I have, sometimes the spin can get off a little bit, because I think one of the issues I've been having recently with the driver is it seems like on here, I'm always like pulling, and then I have a slice on the Mevo Plus. But then anytime I get outdoors, it turns into like straight or kind of a hook. So I'm going to get the Titleist RCT balls and see if that changes. I would say that's the only complaint I have, is the shot shape of the driver.
Yeah, it's some really good points that you've made there. I mean, I have used the Mevo Plus, but not extensively. You're built a hell of a lot more experienced than I am with it. But I have read that before, and I have heard that, and it's similar with SkyTrack. Like for irons, they're both great, and very, very true to real life, very realistic. But as soon as you start getting some higher ball speeds with your driver, for example, I believe that's when the SkyTrack and the Mevo kind of let themselves down a little bit. Obviously, you're a lefty. The SkyTrack and, like you talk about the GC Quad or whatever, the GC3, they're all like units that you're going to have to shift every time if you're playing with people who are left-handed and right-handed golfers. So, like you said, you've gone for the Mevo Plus because you don't have to move anything. It sits behind you. I've seen your TikTok channel. If nobody knows, Jock's got a pretty big TikTok channel, and I've seen that you have your boys over quite a lot, don't you? Just having some fun games and a bit of competitions and stuff. So for you guys, it's perfect.
Yeah, it's been great. And so, the TikTok's been doing well. Golf Busters is my TikTok and YouTube channel. It's been great. It's so fun to have all the guys over, and guys you don't see either. Once you get older, it's like I wouldn't just be inviting some, maybe some high school buddies to be like, hey, do you want to come over and like sit in my house and have a meal? Like, you would kind of do that, but like it's a lot easier to be like, hey, do you guys want to come golf? And so I had and in the video I talked about, we have a hole-in-one pot. And so everyone, once you come, you just put $1 in and you're eligible for that day. And so that's really nice because it lets us kind of know how many people have been here. And so it's at about $100. And I tell my wife, every single week with this garage, we have more people over than we would have like all year without the garage, like with our regular house. One thing I would say about the Mevo Plus, I think GS Pro reads things much better. So like, I always had felt that driver was significantly short with E6 on the iPad and even the Flightscope app. But it seems like GS Pro will give it a bit of a boost. And like I said, I think people get scared when you talk about, like, same thing with the SkyTrack, like, oh, it reads the shot shape wrong with the driver. And then people get really, like, anytime people hear drivers a little bit off, they always get scared to buy it. Yeah. But buying the Mevo Plus is the best golf decision I've ever made. It's awesome. Like, I think people who are here, like, who are like, everything reads great. 90% of people are like, driver reads exactly how I think. And so, and if I just maybe fix my swing a little bit, then I'd probably be chilling, then I wouldn't have to worry about it as much. But yeah, so I think the Mevo Plus, I think for the price, I don't think I would do anything different. Like I said, for a lefty as well. And I would have to basically be given like a unicorn to change. Like, so I don't think I would spend the extra $8 I would never spend the extra $8 unless I got sponsored or like, something like that.
For a 5% discount on the Flightscope Mevo Plus, head over to the Golf Swing Systems website and use the code handicap5 at the checkout. I'll pop a link to that website in the description below. And to see Jock's simulator in even more detail, watch the full podcast interview with me and him by clicking on this video that's on the screen right now.